Hey everyone, welcome back to Big Heart Dating. Yeah, I'm doing the opening dance. Okay, Petra Marco. Like I said, welcome to Big Heart Dating. This week is all about Thailand. Now, the rules and things a little different than the Philippines that you've learned last week. Okay, of course, need a tourist visa to come down. And they what number, but you have to have tourist visa. The Philippines you don't need to up to 30 days. It's different, totally different. This one in Thailand you have to have a tourist visa. Before we go on, please understand they have their own language. Really, some really long words that's actually censored. It's just really writing is so different. They don't use regular ABC sign. I mean alphabet. So you'll hear about that when I go through all that. Now, when you do, you get approved and you fly in. Of course, you have choice. You can meet a Thailand woman there, or you have met her online and you're meeting her. And when you want to get married, then you got to register at the Thailand district office. That's what it's called, district office. It's like the county town hall or the city hall, depending on where you are. You can marry her in the States. You gotta go through the same process like I said before. The K1 visa. You gotta go through all that process. It will take time, anywhere from 6 months to 18 months. These days with the internet, it's a little bit faster. But if you want to get married there, you register in Thailand district office. The age to get married there is 17 up. 17. Yeah, you heard that right. But there's a catch. If you're a foreigner, they'll look it up your country age requirement. You can't get away getting married at 17 years old because they got to follow your country law. So, if the law in the United States or some other countries say 18, then she will not be qualified if she's 17. You have to wait till she's 18 to get married. Unless you get a Thai court approval with her parents' approval. These days, probably not. Not likely going to get one like that. So, I don't know about other countries. If it's a little higher, that's the age they're going to say. That's where you have to be. But they have some countries that say age 20, for example, hypothetically. That country, age 20, Thailand would say to you, sorry, you only can marry age 20 or higher. Not under that age. I like that. They respect your country's laws. That's weird at. It's smart. Because if you're a Thai, marry a Thai, no problem. But to say from the U.S., I'm not sure about Canada or Europe. They're all varied. So look into your country law, because that's where you're going to have to end up having that age law there. You think you get away from it, you cannot. Because when you register your ID, oh, United States of America. And they see what state, they look it up. Oh, 18. The day you can't marry at 17. You must not be mentally unfit or incompetent. Can't be, no. They need to see you have proof you're stable. Wow. You cannot be directly related by blood. Of course. You can't marry a cousin. No. If the case in adoption, let's say you're gonna marry somebody in Thailand and she was adopted, and let's say this way, if you both were adopted by the same adopted parents, but you're not blood related, because it said you cannot be directly related by blood, but this is by legal parentship family, then you cannot marry your adopted brother or sister. That's what it's saying here. Of course, you cannot be married. Female. If you are divorced or widow, cannot marry until after 310 days from the spouse death or divorce. Final. That's what I said. Final. Let's say somebody died Monday. You finally get a piece of paper on Thursday. Oh, now you have to count 310 days from that piece of paper date. Not the date when he died, who officially got a divorce. That date on that piece of paper that it was divorced, that day, you count from that day. That's a little complicated because 310. Compare our calendar 365. It's easy to figure that one. But I'm sure they figured out by counting 310. But here's the thing. It can be waived if the child born during this period. Let's say both of you have fooled around. Then he died or divorced his Thai woman because you fooled around with his wife during that time period. And your child with her is born. Then you automatically can get married immediately. Let's say 6 months. 6 months is 180 days. Okay. So if you did that, then you can marry 160 days after the divorce final. I get that. From that day, it's signed, date on that piece of paper. Not the day announcing, I'm divorcing you. No. The court paper. It's a little more complicated. But that's the good thing about that one. The divorced couple can remarry. Here in the U.S., you can remarry. But this one didn't make any sense. I actually wrote it down, what it said. Certification to show that she is not pregnant. If she's not, then you can get married, but then with the child. There's a little confusion about that. I don't want to contact the lawyer about that. Order of count allow women to marry without 310 days. That's really strange about that. Alright. Here's the requirement for foreigner with foreign, they're called over there. You need a copy of passport bio data page on the passport. When you open up, you see the photograph and the number, the address, birthday, and that. And they need a copy of that. And your copy of Thai visa. And when you're at the airport, they give you a arrival card, probably a paper, or maybe even plastic card. I don't know. That's interesting. You get a travel card that proves that you arrived on that date. And you have one. All three are required when you apply to get married. You need to have that from your own country embassy or consulate state that you are not married and bring them to marry. The embassy over there, any embassy, U.S., Canada, Australia, Europe, whatever, they have those pieces of paper fill out and sign. The interview takes about 30 minutes. You have to swear that it's honest. That's required. I don't know how long it is in the Philippines. For 30 minutes, it's pretty quick in Thailand. Now, like I said in the beginning, because the language is different, you'll need duplicate. One in English, if you're from an English-speaking country, or another language, and Thai language paper. You have to duplicate everything. Don't worry about that. Officials in Thailand will sign piece of paper, because they will see, oh, you have that proof. So one in English, one in Thai. So you have duplicate of everything. You have to have original and notarized Thai translation of death certificate or divorce. Like I said, you need both. If say you're American, you got divorced, you found somebody in Thailand, you have it in English, you have to get one original and notarized over there to prove that you're divorced, or you have your spouse die. Same thing, original and notarized Thai translated divorce. And the proof of payment fee for translation and legal of each document. You already pay for all that. Now you have to pay for all that in Thai. It's a little different in the Philippines. You don't need to worry about that because it's an English-speaking country. So I'm sure other countries you have to have a duplicate of their own language as well. Then you, with the original, when you get all that done, you go back to your embassy to file all that with the embassy so they can have a record that you're proven that you're married a Thai in Thailand. For a Thai lady, if any of you have been listening to that, you need a national ID card, national register document, the AKA. I don't know what that is. It's just spelled AKA. I'll look it up. Just the AKA. Probably some other important paper. Probably, I'm thinking maybe it's like PSA within the Philippines, our FBI record or police record that you're free of crime trouble. And the blue book. Also, Thailand, bad. I don't know what that means. That they have to have that. You also have to have proof of name change if there are any name change in the past. But when you marry, of course, you have to have name change document. So proof. One thing is highly recommended in Thailand. The Philippines never talks about it. But Thailand requires a prenup. Yeah, you heard me that right. Prenup agreement. There you have all that amount of money, and you marry, then you get divorced a year later, you still have all your amount of money. And almost nothing for her. But if you after you get married, you can buy a property with her. But here's a but. I point out, but you cannot. I repeat, you cannot. In prenup to own that property. It goes to her. That's the law. Most countries don't want foreigners to own land. You hear that, China? Get out of the United States. It's a good idea to draft and sign the form, the agreement. Get a Thai family lawyer to help draft that, so it can be in their proper language. You need one for your own native language and one in Thai. Lawyer will help with that. Then you have to submit agreement to the officer or applicant who's going to marry you. You have to give the officer when you're register to marry, right at the very beginning. So you have to make your prenup before you get married. Just say, John Doe arrived today. Good for him. Finally get to meet his sweetheart. Then, because it's weekend, the next week, they plan the wedding. That's when you have to start doing all these paperwork, and you gotta make the prenup. Then you go actually register the marriage officer in the office, the district office. You have to have that when you want to get married. Here's the interesting. When you register, they look over everything, all good, working order, all signed correctly, all that. He will sign, approve, you're married, like that. That's right. Don't need to say, will you take him to be your wedding husband? Nope, nothing like that. I seen one video a long time ago. Yeah, one of the 90 Days TV show and cable. She sat down, he sat down. Yeah, they would. He wore tuxedo, she wore white dress. And the official was standing down on the other side of the table. It's her and his family, mostly her family, behind the couple. He looks over, he signed, shake hands, things congratulations, and bow. That's what they do. That's it. I mean, they got married like that in a few minutes. It looks so easy for you guys. Yeah, but here's more. When you do that, you gotta bring two witnesses. One of yours, one of hers. It's required. So if you're American, you gotta bring somebody from the state to go with you. I know it's expensive. Could be $1,500 in the middle class. So you're gonna have to help. You have to pay for him to come, or your friend said, "What the heck? I'll pay for it." But don't forget, it's quite expensive. The local district office is called Ampurut. Ampurs. Ampurut. You meet the officer, like I said, to receive all the documents, review, and then you complete your marriage registration and process. I'm reading my note. While you're there, you have to mention that you have a prenup. Very important. Not later. That day, you have to submit. It's your wedding. You have to call. There's another kind of wedding that with what I saw on YouTube. That's unofficial wedding. That is the official wedding that you register. You're married. Just like that. The other one is can be before or after. It's more like putting on a show. That you walk down the street with all the gift, the dowry. Usually that's before before you register. You give the bride's parents there, and the couple sit down. It can be for hours. Oh yeah, your wedding is hours, but that's putting on a show. People give you gifts, all fancy stuff. You can have it 3 day wedding. One day it could be dressed in Western wedding. You know, the man wears tuxedo, she wears the white dress, wedding dress gown. But the other day it would be traditional Thailand style wedding. You'd wear those fancy, shiny outfits. It's common with some Asian countries in Africa. They wear like that. I always talk about the one in Africa too. It's very similar. Don't forget about the money. You'll get it back later. Later, not right away. I'm talking about the downing. After the prenup needs to be signed, and the prenup, do not sign until you're right there at your wedding with the official. You sign, she sign, and the witness sign. Yeah, there's a few papers you have to sign at your wedding in the office. You cannot avoid that. That's the law there. In other countries, you can have weddings in church or outdoors or whatever, or even with the judges of the peace or the mayor. That's fine, but this one requires that office. Another show I saw on the TV years ago. This guy from the U.S. wanted to marry this woman. He was wearing shorts and all that, and he thought just to register so they can have a wedding. Then he heard their name being called, came up. I'll never forget it. It was outside, and then sit down up there and talk about it, sign papers and all that. Then he said, "Regulation, you're married." He said, "What?" He got a little up, surprised. He went on a wedding. Didn't realize that was the wedding. So don't be surprised when that happens. So better dress up on your day with the official. And don't forget your friend. Now, because I get that, do we have that big book time? But it's not done. When the application is approved, you're already married. You will receive marriage certificate on that day. All that done, get another paper, that's for you, the couple, to get. Not just the big book. The certificate. A few minutes later. Get the certificate in Thai, you need to ask for English further. Or your own native language. If you need to file with your home country, need to be translated. Let's say the Canadian, American, I don't know what this language means. Maybe you're going to file the wrong place. Don't want to do that. Need to translate it further. All marriage license, okay, done to the file record of your state or province or your country. Take the translator to your embassy, and then the embassy would be, oh yeah, okay. You send it to your state file record department. Reporting registration in their legal system. That way you can tell the embassy done it to the right people. Legally, the U.S. government would recognize you are married to a Thai. Don't forget, every country around the world needs to know that. It's bad. Why? So if I'm going to marry a Filipino in the Philippines, I tell the embassy I'm married. Then I copy them. Then to the U.S. Okay. If I'm in South Carolina, that means South Carolina got that record. Maybe the copy in New York State gets the birth certificate. Maybe. Because that's where I was born. Now legalize marry. Now, if you're not done, you can apply for marriage visa Thailand. That's what it's called. It's only worth for 1 year. You get more rights under there. You can work and stay for a year. Then when it's pretty soon ends, you have to reapply again for another year. Then another year. Then another year. You have to repeat the cycle every year. They don't have permanent. I'm sorry, they don't. Everything looks so easy when you get married, but it's more difficult to stay longer. Unless you want to take her to the state and apply under K3, then it can be permanent. But remember, 40% of K1 deny. So you may have a better chance than Thailand. But with that, you could try the K3, but it's a little harder to get that approved and longer. So it's something you have to think about. This sounds getting married easy. Same day. Less headache. But it's more headache after that. You want to stay there permanently. tough, not easy. I heard one they had to go back. Even married to a few years, like 15 years, then you have to go back. Doesn't make any sense. That's their part. Then it's almost done. If you're married to a Thai, like I said, you have the right to purchase land jointly with your spouse. But if separation, not divorce yet, that spouse retain control of the land. That means she will keep it. If you're a foreigner, you have no right to own that land. Nope. Unless you have lease agreement with each other, then okay. It's a little more complicated. Talk with your Thai family lawyer and Thai immigrant lawyer for other options and other visa or other things that you can stay more permanently. But it's harder to get more permanent. Time has ran out. I'm going to talk a little more about Thailand tomorrow before I go on to the next country. You want to know more about Vita? Bring her here. I have a video already filmed that talk about K1, K2 Vita under the Philippines by week. Look that up. Then you're going to listen to that part. It's the same for any country around the world. When you want to bring your bride to the state. Someday I probably will have to talk about Western countries like Canada, Australia, Europe, United Kingdom, and about bringing your bride over to those countries. There's a lot to talk about. Well, that's it on this part. I'll finish some more tomorrow. Then we'll go on to the next country. Until then, have a good day. God bless.